Greetings, folks. Listen up to my interview on the Neil Prindiville show this morning on Cork's Red FM about the peaceful protest at Grand Parade in City Hall in Cork last Saturday.
Show on Red FM.
Conversation that matters.
10 to 11, good morning. Michelle Keane is on line one. Morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Mick, and good morning to the People's Republic of Cork. And can I say, Mick, what a turnout by the People's Republic of Cork in support of this very peaceful protest that was held by and organised by the great Derek Bly on Saturday. It was an absolutely a privilege for me to speak at the event, and a huge shout out to Garda Síochána for the great work they did in making this a peaceful protest for us who were involved in this. So overall, like 15,000 people, I believe, attended this protest, and I suppose, like, a huge shout out to Cork for winning the Munster hurling final on Saturday night. And I have no doubt in my mind that if the hurling final wasn't on that day, we'd possibly have had another 23,000 Corkonians supporting the People's Republic of Cork and the people of Éire. Like, people came from all over the country.
You spoke, Michelle, at the protest. What was the basis of your speech?
Well, my speech was, one of unity, Mick. We are a fantastic country, a fantastic nation, and we don't want what the government are doing to this country. I believe, like, our ancestors who bled for this land, like the great Michael Collins, Tom Barry, Liam Lynch, Tomas McCurtain, Sean Moylan, Dan Murphy, Dan Breen and Eamon Devlin, they fought for a true republic, and now it's our turn to take it over. Because, look, this was, as I said, a peaceful protest, and it takes peaceful resistance, Mick, to reclaim this nation. And, we will have to rise, because we are a republic, we're a small nation, we can't cope with the amount of illegal migrants that are coming into our country. Look, even I have to disagree with the Lord Mayor Dan Boyle there on what he said to you earlier on.
More or less no illegality.
Well, no, I mean, we don't go into Italy without a passport. Like, no passports, no entry. Look, even Helen McEntee came out last May, and said that 80% of asylum seekers are arriving here, crossing the border into the north from the UK. We can't sustain this. Are we now, Ireland, the new Rwanda? Like, our housing system is in crisis. Like, Irish families now are waiting over 10 and 12 years, both in Cork and Kerry County Council lists, on council lists all around the country, and the young people are priced out of their own homes, and having to live with their parents, can't get a mortgage, gone over to Australia, maybe never come back. We have lost a generation, Mick, which was very, very serious, and our healthcare system is under savage pressure. There's growing waiting lists. How many times have you gone into A&E in Cork or Kerry University Hospital, and you see what's waiting in front of you? And I believe some of these illegal migrants are getting privileges over us. Like, within 4 hours when they come into the country, they're all set up. They have PPS number. They're not waiting for job seekers allowance. Like, Irish people are waiting like 7 or 8 weeks.
Michelle Keane, when I said that to the Lord Mayor, there's a possible bias here over hard-working Irish citizens, a bias towards accommodation, to access to healthcare, social welfare, grants, subsidies, and the motor cars and getting them fixed, and school and services and all that.
Look,
I was told that doesn't happen.
It does happen. Didn't even Keane O'Flynn come out and did his research and made a statement that the Irish government were paying 200,000 a car for Ukrainians. I mean, this is an absolute joke. This country is being taken for a ride. The taxpayers in this country, we're a very welcoming and hospitable nation. But look, I mean, Dan Boyle to come out and say gaslight, in my opinion, what he was doing this morning to people. This is the same Dan Boyle who posed with naked cyclists on the steps of City Hall. We're not a country to tolerate this woke ideology, nonsense and bullshit. let people have peaceful protests, but like for a Lord Mayor to come out and say we should be welcoming everyone into this country.
Okay,
you know,
Michelle, I have to take.
Look at what our politicians did in Kerry. Look at what Michael Healy did.
Okay, I'm going to have to leave it there. I have one more call to get in, and Mary's on line 2.